arms and strange
angles,
strange kind of like focus of the camera. I look even more oddly bodied than I am in real life. So
I think that's the least people, think about when they're into something. Or they just kind of see everything and leave because we're really unrelatable.
Yeah.
Okay, so our 1 year ahead first, the honest recap. What we thought this would be versus what it actually was.
Well, the podcast.
Why did we start this podcast?
Well, I think you should answer. Yeah, I mean, you kind of instigated it, really, didn't you? I think originally it was a way of kind of like self-promotion, and then it's kind of evolved in a kind of, it was like self-promotion for us, but then it quite quickly evolved into kind of promotion for other artists as well. We had a handful of people on the podcast.
I think originally we did think about that, interviewing other people, which obviously is still ongoing, but I counted it's actually been 1 year and 3 months. So obviously that's just like one podcast, not even one podcast a month. But we hope to do at least one a month.
Yeah. Quality, not quantity.
Hey, exactly. I mean, it's just been one of those things, isn't it?
We've
done it very, very organically. And so what have we learned about each other as a duo while we've been processing?
Well, I don't think we really learned. We know each other so well that I don't think we really learned. I mean, I think, at a basic level, we've learned that you're quite camera friendly, and I'm the kind of awkward guy who doesn't know what to do with his hands, always wears a beanie hat. There's a kind of fret blanket.
Very kind of you to say, but I don't actually feel that. So I've got some level of RSD. What's it? Rejection sensitive dysmorphia. Really? Everything is kind of, I'm going to offend somebody at some point. So that's always running through my mind. That's one mental health aspect we could talk about.
I mean, I always have like, in most things I do, I have like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
With the whole kind of, especially like with music, it's kind of like everything I write that people like, I just think's a fluke. Even though if you want, fairly consistently fluke. I still think that, and with other aspects of my life, like work and all that kind of stuff.
How do you feel when you do this podcast? How are you feeling? Generally when we get on camera, and it's almost still, we know that at some point someone's going to see this. So do we care about?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of care about what I say. Really, I'm kind of, because some of the stuff I've talked about is about people in my life, and I don't want to kind of identify them or people I've known or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm not a natural on camera. I don't really like attention, which is weird because I'm in a band.
It's a weird juxtaposition, isn't it? It's definitely odd to be extrovert and introvert at the same time.
Yeah, well, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I go anywhere near the extrovert scale, to be honest with you. I kind of, and this is probably why, in my musical career, I pretty much had to drink to get on stage, to relax and be someone who I kind of wasn't, I suppose, or made me more comfortable being a version of me. I became a version of me, basically, a more relaxed, slightly more extrovert version. And and getting sober and then doing gigs and stuff like that was quite quite, you had to getting used to, just used to wearing masks,
Yeah, it's amazing. I wonder how many people obviously do that. I mean, we don't know enough bands to talk to them about their
Yeah, no,
experience.
I think it's
When we first started this, it was about, hey, how are you dealing with this music industry journey, and how do you cope with what's offered or what you have to do to just get ahead.
yeah. I mean, just going back to your last point, I was reading. Quite a big fan of the Wonder stuff back in the day, and Miles Hunt, the singer, is renowned for being like this gobby, arrogant persona on stage. But I read a few interviews with him. He said that's not him at all. He had to do that because he was like very shy and didn't like the kind of being himself on stage. So he put on this persona, and I think it's quite prevalent with a lot of musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you hear me all right?
yeah, you're coming in and out a little bit.
Hopefully, this is recording properly. So
Mm.
yeah, the hardest episode to record while we've been on with our 10 episodes now.
Mm.
The hardest
I don't know.
one.
What do you think?
I mean, the alcoholism, what do you call it? The dry January. That's quite a sensitive topic.
Was that last year?
I think that was one of the first. Well, yeah, I think it was quite
Must have
early on.
been.
So
Yeah.
in November, and we did, 1 January. And obviously, we both had sort of moves and stuff between. And that was a sensitive topic anyway to tackle. And I think we did relationships. So
Mental health.
yeah, mental health kind
Yeah,
of fits
loss.
categories.
Loss and things like that.
Grief,
Um,
really tough subjects, aren't they? But as a band, it's sort of was still sort of ticking away. It's like you said in the last episode. I think just don't stop, just keep doing something that kind of makes you feel still
yeah, I mean, I think you got to keep following your passions, whatever they are, to keep some kind of sanity in your life. Yeah, whether it's music or whatever you're into that day, cycling or yoga or whatever. Is the cat
again.
all
I mean,
right?
it's happy because the Eric.
Eric, yeah, no, hasn't brought anything in at the moment. Little sod. It's usually quite late. He brings stuff in. But yeah, I mean, it's follow your passion. That certainly helped me when I was off with stress. It was kind of like, especially I had loads of time on my hand, and it was kind of I had to do things to nourish my soul, whatever it was. It was like going up to London on the bike, playing the guitar, just going to a place. I bought this iPad I'm using at the moment. I bought in Welwyn Garden City, and I've never ever been there. And I was basically over that way, and I just looked for the nearest John Lewis store, and it said Welwyn Garden City, and I thought, never been there. It was a rainy day, bit of an adventure, and that kind of had a good vibe to it. The place had a good vibe to it, and it's one of those places that kind of like just a new experience. It just kind of takes you out of your head a little bit. It takes you kind of, I went to a coffee shop I've never been to before. It's,
Yeah, going to new places, isn't it? It's just a
yeah,
good
and you just kind of it
changes
get
everything.
yeah, it gets you out of that kind of
Right.
cabin fever of staying in or whatever, and just stuff like that kind of nourished my soul and stuff, and that definitely kept me kind of sane. I mean, I did have a few anxious. I was off for 2 months, and about week 6, I started having a few anxious kind of moments, and I think that's because I wasn't really. I was still trying to get myself together, regards to stress, and I was also all this time on my hands, and I was nourishing my soul, but I wasn't doing as much as I probably should. and it kind of made me suddenly sort of ranked up my anxiety, ramped it up, and
Are you coping with the load now you're back into the groove?
yeah. I mean, it's busy. It's really, really busy, but because I've been off with stress, I've kind of got that as a kind of not really, kind of like half the work, but also half for me. It's kind of like, actually, I'm going to stick to I've got this thing. I've got my wellness boundaries. So it's basically, I get, however I'm feeling, I can start a little bit later or have a bit of a longer lunch and finish on time and no later and stuff like that. And
Are these tips from your stress management course? Are you still doing that?
no, that finished. That was good. I mean, it was kind of, because it was a group course. It wasn't kind of, they couldn't just talk about me, and I couldn't talk about me to someone. But it gave a lot of kind of coping techniques and things like that. And it's kind of, um, I mean, I've because I've had two other people in my team off. They're both back now, but both were off for stress. It really kind of put us under, and I just realised that obviously, had to say no a lot to people, and they just kind of accepted it, which made me more confident in doing it. And uh, I just do, I kind of manage my work time better. I kind of just
Right. Yeah.
do what I need to do.
And also look
Um,
at of burnout, right?
yeah. I mean, I always
Early.
take myself out for a, always take myself out for a coffee at lunchtime. Physically walk out of the flat down the coffee shop so that um, I'm not near the computer. I mean, if it's legging it down with rain, I can't go out. I make sure on my lunch break that I turn the sound off on my computer so I don't hear any beeps coming through of emails or people trying to Teams call me or anything like that. So I'm just completely detached from it.
I actually
Um,
recently I did the whole turning phone notifications off, and it almost just shaved like 70% of this sort of anxiety I felt when all these emails were, all the sort of numbers you get. And it's just like,
yeah.
that is WhatsApp, or it's like, all these other apps, and
I mean, we are a slave to technology.
all of them off, and it's just, wow, this is so zen.
Yeah.
Digging there.
I mean,
Obviously, I get control to then check the messages.
yeah, exactly. It's that kind of like, you're either a slave to technology or you
Yeah.
use technology. That's the whole thing. Um, but yeah, kind of the workload, stress levels are still there, but nothing like they were, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
So when you go to
yeah,
sleep as well, because obviously that was an issue. That was one of our episodes about insomnia.
sleep. I
What's
mean,
this
I'm banging out.
real time?
I'm capping a couple of Valerian each night, which is good for
Right.
knocking me out. I've got into this really bad habit of going to bed late though. I,
Mm.
I don't know why. I kind of like,
Deep between, the early hours and early
well,
morning.
yeah. I mean, so I tend to wait. I just really got to get to bed early. I kind of been turning the light off about 1,
Right.
um, but waking up about 6:30 and usually getting back to sleep. But it's kind of course, with the lighter mornings and that, the cat starts thinking, "Oh, it's time to get up." So the cat jumps on me.
Mm.
Um, I tend to go. I can go to sleep really easily, but it's just when I wake up, it's that kind of. Sometimes I can just go back to sleep like that, and other times it's that kind of like your head will tell me, "Well, that's it. You're not going to get back to sleep now." And then it catastrophizes. It's like snowballs. It goes, "Well, you're not going to get back to sleep, so you're going to feel really shit today."
Right. Double up
And
caffeine.
yeah, and it's kind of like, you're gonna feel awful all day. You're not going to be performing well or whatever you do, and and you start listening to your head, which is the worst thing to listen to. So, by five qigong's really good. I'm still doing my 20 minutes of qigong every morning because
And
that pumps in a load of energy into you,
yeah,
and that kind of like it kind of both meditates and energizes, which I really like. So I'm still doing that. I'm making time for that, and that's kind of keeping me sane as well. But Yeah, I need to sort out my kind of evening routines really. Um, yeah, I need to sort everything out. I mean, I eat too late,
Mm.
so I eat too late, so that wakes my body up afterwards. And then because I eat too late, I think, well, I've only got an hour till I should be going to bed, so I stay up for another 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I know all
Have
the
you had
answers.
sorry?
I know all the answers about what to do. It's just doing it.
Yeah, I just
And
recently I've just felt it's again, it's just all so it just changes. Everything is just so transient. Like nothing seems to stick to any kind of rigid routine. I suppose maybe it's not meant to be like that because we're always, you know, like adapting to whatever's going on because of whatever circumstance we're going through.
yeah, I mean, you've had a big change though, haven't you, in the last couple of
It's the
months?
exact same structure every single day, you know, because something will ordinarily interrupt, pattern interrupt what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I
So
mean, but you've had a big change the last couple of months. You know, moving and stuff.
yeah, I've kind of feel I don't know. I've just been a dab hand at it all. I kind of think
You know,
it's getting used to this whole. I can be a leaf in the wind, like Bruce Lee used to say. Um, what was that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, if you can't, you got to be the water. You know.
I mean, that's something I read every morning. I still read the Manual of the Warrior of Light by Paulo Coelho. Just a
Oh,
page each day, and it says stuff like that.
yeah.
It says stuff like, be like water, or
Mm,
be like a boulder, and it also says stuff like, it's about being imperfect as well. It's a bit like there's one about, you maybe go down the wrong path in life, and suddenly you take one more step and you fall into the abyss, and you call out um, to God or your higher power or the universe, whoever, say, like, save me, I'm drowning, and then the universe replies, you only drown if you stay beneath the surface, you
mm,
know, and you're not beneath the surface, so you kind of like, you can get out, all those kind of tales of stuff. I find quite quite inspiring. I mean, it's about 200
yeah.
pages, and I read a page every day, and then just go back to the beginning. I've been reading it for years, just kind of, just little things to, you know, start my day with, to kind of like, get me going. Um,
Call the four agreements. And,
oh yeah, I've read that.
it's just all of this. Yeah, we have to apply it to our life. Never mind reading it. It's actually putting it into practice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that kind of
Yeah, and it is tricky sometimes. I mean, I still do that up to date. I do have a bit of a meltdown, so, to keep this anxiety in check, especially obviously being a grandmother, kind of not dealing with chaos really well sometimes. I literally just can't focus anymore, or things like that. If I don't have any sort of structure in that way, even though I'm having fun on one level, I can easily spiral into this. Oh my god, this is just a mess. I can't deal with it. And, you know,
yeah,
he's crying. It's just like all this stuff, and yeah, I have to then apply those rules. Like deep breaths. I saw this Chinese guy doing Tai Chi. I'm obsessed with Tai Chi now. Not that I do it every single day, but he did show these moves. It was like, I think the caption was like, "This is for grandmothers. Do these moves, and you will instantly feel better." And I was just like, okay.
yeah,
And basically it's about alleviating the stressful energy that you build up in your system because you don't realize how much chaos is affecting you. But then that's
yeah.
yeah.
You keep it all in. You take it on board and keep it all in, don't you? That.
I mean, I suppose it's like the first time. If any time of something is your first time, you will find it tricky on some level, and you're gonna have to yeah
Well, yeah,
work up or get help.
it's the unknown, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
there's
and and this is quite a spiritual time, I believe. There's
certainly,
the
yeah.
kind of the shift, the big shift. Um, the
So
chaos is happening. Is kind of like you need you need to get rid of like a spot or a boil. You need to like it first needs to pus and get all the crap, the ugly poison out of it before it can heal. And I think that's what we're doing. The world's starting to do a bit. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. As long as you've got to stay aware, and that's the thing, isn't it? Stay aware of how you feel, and if you're not going to say that to somebody, they're not going to know. Um,
Yeah.
very kind of problem shared is a problem halved. So
Yeah. I mean,
also people do. My mum was really good at that. I think, but not. She didn't want to talk about things. She kept a lot of it. And I don't that stuff has to be
I mean,
released.
it's quite interesting because uh, I only started saying to my mum I love her when we went to COVID. I've always loved my mum, but we've been very, as a family, we're quite kind of, we don't show, or certain members like me find it difficult to show our feelings like that. And it was only when it was in COVID and my mum got a bit ill and stuff like that. And then, as well as that, when I first went off with stress a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, whatever, my dad then came down to visit, and I've always loved my dad. But because of how kind of bad I was mentally, uh, I went around to see him. He was at my brother's, and then when we said goodbye, he kind of said, I love you, and I said back, I love you. And now when we phone each other, we always end with I love you. So all
Yeah.
these two bad moments have brought this kind of byproduct is that I feel more comfortable expressing my feelings, and likewise, my dad, I should assume, yeah,
Yeah, I know, because I remember that turning point. My dad actually, see, years before he passed, but it was like he was an emotionless guy. Otherwise, didn't do emotions or
yeah,
just. Hey, Rabina, you're so sentimental. I thought, well, that's just me, I'm sorry, kind of thing, and I'm not going to hide who I am. And actually, it's made me into a songwriter or whatever. I have to process things in different ways. I can't say, but that's the only way I can, delve into who I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be who I am. But there was a point, I remember that, yeah, he started to say, I love you, or love you, and there was always love you at the end of everything.
yeah,
Like, and I heard a lady say the other day, she was saying, say I love you and mean it, because otherwise it can become a
bit of a habit.
bit of
Yeah,
habit, a commonplace thing to say rather than actually meaning it.
yeah.
But anyway, it's nice to hear. Yeah. We'll go back to our questions then. Was there a point we almost gave up doing what we're doing?
What, the
Or was there a
podcast?
point where we quit? Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we've had to uh, realign what we talk about on the podcast a little bit, and what topics and stuff like that, and
Well,
getting
again, we've never
guests.
really had a strategy. Everything's been very spontaneous, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them have just been, one long conversation about one or two subjects, and the others have been more broader because it's a broader subject.
Well, I like the
Um,
fact that we've done it for a year and we haven't given up, even though we've not obviously done a ton of stuff with it on social media.
yeah, yeah,
It's just sort of
yeah,
trickling. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I
but we
agree.
haven't set any boundaries or kind of rules. But I must admit, there's been times I've felt you wanted to quit. Well, maybe that was because of your stress as well. I was conscious that I didn't want to put too much on your plate on top of everything you were going through.
Yeah, no, I find the energy really difficult these days. I don't know, because I'm like 57. I read a headline today that Spotify is people are going to leave there in droves because there's something new coming. I didn't read the.
Right. Oh yeah, there's a few already, isn't there? I don't
Yeah,
know. See, we kind of left for political reasons as well. I just wanted to support the no drone thing, you know.
yeah. I mean, just the way
I mean, it's
they
just sad
they.
though, when the biggest platforms that are easy to use and you know,
Well, this is the thing. The trouble is they're run by businessmen who've got nothing, who know nothing about music. They're just in it for money, and it's just horrible. I mean, it's just I kind of wish the worst financial outcome for these kind of people because they just kind of like the people that they need to pay them their wages. The bands and artists.
we're the ones.
Unless you're in the top tier, there's a top tier, isn't there, where all the big artists are. Unless you're in that tier, you get paid. You need 1,000 streams to get a 10p or something like that. And
It's a joke. I
how
mean,
they can justify that, it's just absolutely disgusting.
yeah, it's a bit annoying because it's like, oh, we spent a little bit of obviously time and energy on that when we were doubling up on the whole. You know, we've got the YouTube as well as Spotify and try and sort of, you know, showcase the platform we're on. But I just didn't want to do that anymore, and so that's why we left. But it's one less thing to do now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a guy's disgusting human being. That's the human part of me talking now. Is obviously at a soul level, he's agreed a contract to be this do this role. But yeah, the guy's scum, basically. you know.
Yeah, I'm glad to be out of it. You know, no loss, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
But it says what you gained versus what you lost, but we didn't lose. It's that there's plenty of other platforms to be on. So we've still got a band camp. Still chipping away. We're writing a song at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're
Got my interface. I've got a drum beat for it.
oh yeah. Oh cool.
Mhm.
New track.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. So I'm just finding my way around using the interface and bits and bobs like that. I've had to download a few plugins to do with the guitar.
And
Like,
again, it's real, isn't it? It's not like you can sit there for hours doing all of this. It's almost literally finding a spot of time
yeah, exactly. And that's it. You know what it's like as well. You can't just,
to operate.
if you go, I'll spend 10 minutes, you can't go, I'll spend 10 minutes just recording a song. You're there for hours. And, but yeah, got a really good plug-in reverb plugin. Really, really good. It's like, yeah, really intense reverbs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got one called, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but you put in, it's about 9,000 songs. So basically, it's got like Purple Rain by Prince. So you dial that in and it gives you comes back with the exact guitar and amplifier settings.
Wow.
So it sounds just like you're playing Purple Rain if you can play it. And it's got all
Yeah.
sorts like Oasis, Green Day, and all that kind of, all the regulars. So I've been kind of mucking around with that.
What was that on?
Sorry,
Where's that on?
it's
What?
a plug-in. I can't remember what it's called. It's gone.
So, that's the thing. I mean, going back even like 2 years when I got given a bunch of plugins, then that computer broke, so I didn't have access to any of that stuff. And then obviously now I'm just starting from scratch again. I bought some audio speakers. I mean, they're okay. They're not top of the range and whatever. But now I've realised, yeah, we can actually start recording.
yeah, I mean the thing I've had to watch out for is my tinnitus
Yeah.
because you're banging away with my Tascam. I knew what volume to have the monitor out in my headphones. So with the iPad using GarageBand, I kind of didn't, and some of the reverbs and that are quite trebly. So I've had to like dial down the volume and only really limit myself to like half an hour bursts. even though you
Right.
really want to carry on for hours.
Yeah.
So um,
I mean, this is the other thing, isn't it?
it's that kind of
Lots of,
longevity. I want my ears to have longevity.
of course.
I mean, they've always got a. I don't know. It's because I wear earplugs at night as well. They've always got a hiss going on, and
Yeah.
sometimes that hiss is louder. Um,
I keep seeing all these things about Bluetooth and how dangerous it is, you know, the little earbuds. I mean, I've never really got on with those anyway, but it's the fact
yeah,
it emits so many EMFs, you know, God knows what's doing to people's brains if they wear them all day, every day. You know? So I just, out of choice, I just didn't get any anyway. You know? So I'm fine with that. I've got wired earphones. But even those, like with tinnitus,
yeah,
can't, you know, wear them for too long. Because then, like tinnitus, I get really weird piercing noises, all sorts of stuff.
yeah. I get kind of. I've had it for years though. I remember when we first met, and I was doing those on that old Tascam. I had a massive one, and I was doing those original demos for our first couple of songs. I remember having the hissing then. It's
Mm,
always there, but I've just got to my part of me would sort of say, well, I can't do music anymore, but I can. I've just got to manage it differently.
yeah,
Um,
it's stress that we're talking about, isn't it? It's how do we, whatever does make you stressful, how do you minimize, you know?
yeah, it's adapting. It's that kind of like instead of going for knee jerk reaction, like oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this recording. It's like hold on a minute, let's turn it down. Okay, it's not going to be as nice as having it louder, but turn it down. Do half an hour, have a break, do something else, find another passion you can do for a few hours, and then go back to it and stuff. And
Yeah, I keep
that's the way
feeling
it's
like this.
got to be.
It's like the two old Ronnies, two Ronnies of music world. I should say
Yeah,
various things
yeah. I
going
mean,
on
it's just
to adapt using humour.
you just got to. I think there's going to be so many people with hearing damage because of things like earbuds and headphones and um, how easy it is to make your own music at home. So more people are going to be doing it. So more people are going to be their ears. I think it's
Mm.
going to be tons of it. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at the kind of longevity of it all of my ears. So there you go.
Saw a pair of drums. One of these houses you could just hear every creak. You know what I mean?
Hear a what?
Hear every quick creak.
Creak.
Right, so where were we? So yeah, who pushes who overthinks? I think you definitely overthink. You're the overthinker, and I'm
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
of a
yeah.
like,
Always have
come
been.
on, do
Yeah.
this. Um, but you know, I hope I'm not pushy.
Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, we're gonna have debates, aren't we, about things? It's natural,
Yeah,
isn't it? Everybody has it.
you know,
Um,
considering it's like we've been friends for so long, um, wouldn't dream of sort of doing something to really hurt the other person. Do you know what I mean? It's like we
oh no,
wouldn't
no, exactly. Yeah,
handle kind of. I wouldn't do something without your approval or any of that stuff.
and
So
I think we're old. We're old enough to know that as well. It's not like we're young people in their 20s who do that kind of thing because
arguing's
they're
for kids
just.
at the end of the day.
It's what? Sorry.
Arguing's for kids, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
scrapping
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It's a young man's game.
Done with that.
Yeah,
Got enough going on. So we're quite good at settling anything that needs to be brought up.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, what do you do when one of you was uninspired? Quite a good
Uh,
one. Write another song.
I tend to like throw a riff or something at you, don't I, on a voice note.
Yeah, it tends to work because I very quickly start writing something over it.
Yeah,
Get
tend to
back
do,
in inspired mode, doesn't
yeah,
it?
tend to do that. Um,
match.
Yeah, I think it's just getting back into the creativity of it, you know. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a lot better when you get all your stuff set up.
Yeah. It's not set up, you know, I can record now.
And I can, like, you know, now I've got the garage band, and now we can, you know, I can come into the 21st century and share stems and things with you, you know, and whatever that means, you know.
I mean, you know,
And
is a powerful computer to be able to manage tons of stems. I haven't got a good processor on my Mac. So.
and I can even tell you what the BPM is, because you always used to ask me what the BPM was, and because on the Tascam I used to just record off a drum machine that I never remembered the BPM. There you go.
So what changes in year 2? End with a vision. Oh, hang on, we haven't got back to. We need to go back to the social media grind. No one talks about. Very relatable. The pressure to constantly create, burnout from promoting instead of creating. We can't get burnout from promoting too much.
Yeah, I mean, this is why, you know, not just big artists, but other artists have their own social media person, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it does takes up a lot of the time, you know.
Well, also you need to know what you're doing. Not sure if either of us kind of, you know, I certainly don't. Sometimes I just kind of throw something at something and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, but it's a different.
Sorry.
It's a different kind of creative. It's creative, but it's a different kind of creativity. It's like you know, it comes natural to some artists, but some people, you know, it's like I'm an artist, but doesn't mean because I can write a song that I can paint a picture, if you know what I mean. So,
yeah, but it's the thing that takes the time, say for instance, to get an app that does something in a certain way, like the video, which has to have a certain amount of graphics on it, you know, all that stuff, which people can do really expertly. But obviously we do need that expert, because that's the stuff we don't do. I think, you know, we stick at the basics of what we know. Partly our age, I guess. You know. It seems like work, doesn't it? Without sounding lazy, it seems like a lot of phone tapping.
Well, it is. It's kind of like, you know, I think at the end of the day, I just like writing music, writing and recording music and playing music.
Yeah.
The
like, well, we
Instagrams.
didn't have this back in the day. We didn't need to get
Yeah,
ourselves.
exactly. And it's kind of the other stuff is kind of necessary to a certain degree, but it's kind of not the stuff that really interests me as much as actually making the music and you know, getting excited when two chords come together by accident and sound amazing, you know.
Yeah. I suppose I'm the bit more arty one in terms of doing the art side.
Yeah.
Because actually it does say how algorithms shape art. So algorithms are a whole new ballgame now. I mean, we didn't have those. So don't know what will make the algorithm choose the thing that makes someone come to a page or whatever. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of, I don't know, it's that.
There is an art to it.
I mean, it's a lot easier to be a musician these days because the algorithm, you know, like I subscribe to some jazz guitar stuff. I'm not a jazz guitarist, but I subscribe to it. And I get these interesting jazz guitar lessons that come my way. So that inevitably will push my songwriting or whatever to use a couple of jazz guitar chords. You know, if I decide I want to listen to a couple of Carpenters videos one day, which I have done, then I'll start getting Carpenters or easy listening music coming my way, and then I might go off in a musical direction, right in that kind of sort of 70s love pop kind of stuff. It's all kind of impacts on you, doesn't it? It's a bit like, it's like anything, isn't it? It's kind of like, the only difference is when you know, it's like when I was young, my brother used to play all his records, which used to influence me. And
that was the real algorithm, wasn't it? That was
yeah, I mean, it's not,
the way
it
that
got me into loads of stuff. I mean, it got me into very early U2, got me to Rush, um, Jimi Hendrix, Queen, early Queen, all this kind of stuff, which I never ever would have explored otherwise, you know. And that shaped me. Is like, then I got into very young, got into U2 and stuff like that. And that, playing guitar, my first guitar hero is Edge out of U2. So I started playing like him, you know, and that probably still has an influence today with some of the stuff, you know. So it all kind of like impacts into your life. Um,
yeah.
but it's kind
It's
of, you
fun.
know, that was a kind of, it was a harder algorithm, and but you kind of, it was a bit less, you know, you weren't bombarded like you are these days. And uh I suppose there was more kind of, uh you could choose whether you wanted to listen to that record or not, and if you didn't, you didn't, as opposed to now you still will get it fed into your stream.
Yeah. The algorithm, it's like, feels like because of Instagram and the way it works, you're scrolling through so much of the same sort of thing. It then becomes real background rather than honing into something that really stands out, you know. So it's almost like that's my whole bugbear sometimes with algorithms type stuff, because I feel like, what can we even post that's gonna make an impact? You know, for my
Yeah.
thing, building up a story. The stories actually feel a little less sort of pressurized, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word. That, you know, we are just painting a little picture of what we've done, a little sprinkling of things that we've written, right? And they're not like massive tunes. But then if we put something out that's half finished, you know, the algorithm's not gonna bring you anyone who's gonna go, hey, you know, dig your
Mm.
stuff. So it's
Yeah.
almost like social media forces you to sort of, yeah, look at loads of things that we just didn't have to do back in the day. It's that easy to connect up with whatever. I don't know. It's different for different
I
people.
think, yeah, I think back in the day it was a lot harder to become a musician, and it was a lot harder
Oh,
to be, you there, you frozen. Oh yeah.
okay. So I've had to
Yep.
switch to the phone. Don't know how this is good. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear? I
So
hear you
that
much.
that tablet was charged up, but it was charging. It just died on me. So I don't know if
Mm.
it's recorded something. I can't check until I'm on the desktop.
Mm,
That's
blimey.
crazy. Can't seem
Is
to
it
get the information on my phone.
is
So
it an old tablet then?
it's quite new actually. It's a Samsung.
Yeah, right.
Uh, Galaxy something or other. It's out of this world.
Wow.
Anyway,
Galaxy.
sorry about that. Yeah, so we've wasted a bit of time. I cannot remember where
Where
we
were
were.
we?
I did send you those questions on WhatsApp, so could you have a quick look on there, please, if you can find them on there, because that was
What's that?
it's definitely there. Because I can't switch out of this and into the other app.
Oh, right.
Technology. I've always had this
Okay.
thing that has been against me, and I don't know why. I shouldn't be talking negatively about those things, you know. It's just been a lifelong thing. I've been near technology, and something's happened to it. So
So the social media grind no one talks about. Did we get onto that?
yes, that's where we were. I think we kind of got to the end there, didn't we?
Okay.
For anyone listening,
So,
apologies for these interferences. But
so the next one is a bit weird. It says, releasing a little at a time, why you chose that path. So it sounds like releasing a song called A Little at a Time. This is chat.
releasing a
This
little
is
at a
Chat
time.
GBT though, isn't it?
But what was the rest of it?
Why you chose that path? Releasing a little at a time. Why you chose that path? Let me go down the
No,
questions.
no, I don't know
This is chat
why that's there.
chat CBT, isn't it? Making it up.
Yeah. Well, skip that one.
Geodynamics, the real stuff. After a year, how do you resolve creative disagreements? Done that
Oh right,
one.
yeah. So that's where we've kind of
Who pushes who? Oh, who
left off.
overthinks? Blah blah blah.
I think we've covered all those.
Oh yeah, what changes in year two, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What what you're doubling down on. So what we're doing more
Avoiding
of.
stress, I think, is the order
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Doubling down on an easier life
I think it means
as a musician.
yeah. I think it's are they talking about the podcast or
Right. Well, yeah, I think it kind of followed on from the duo stuff and why we continue and do what we do. If we're not getting put off by anything. Yeah, and actually, I suppose, yeah, I was getting quite excited about the people who potentially are doing the workshop stuff that we could then get involved and do some interviews as a band. So that's coming up, isn't it? Because that'll be a nice little
what was that?
addition.
Which one's
So that
that?
was the Brunswick pub who are doing their workshops and stuff, and they're
Oh
doing a
right.
similar thing with the mental health in the creative industries.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's something that could be
Okay. And
good for us to get involved in.
what are you letting go of?
Um, the notion that something has to be perfect,
Uh,
although obviously, you know, saleable stuff needs to be perfect. But in terms of the mental aspect, you know, stop imagining things have to be a certain way. I want to let go of all those sorts of barriers to progression in my head. How about you?
Um, I suppose letting go of trying to let go of old kind of mind behaviors, to do with how I react to stress, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, and just no, just kind of being more kind of balance between work and stuff I do out of work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't work. I was getting into it a little bit before I went off, but I'm not. I'm not doing crazy hours, so
Mm.
it's not like I have to cut down on my hours. I'm doing keeping to my wellness boundaries, but it's
Mm-hmm.
it's not taking that work once I switch my computer off. Not taking that work around in my head. You know,
Yeah.
knowing I've got to do
Are you
something the
finding
next
the days are
morning.
going by really quickly?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just kind of more kind of relaxed. I feel more relaxed.
It does feel like
Um,
time's sped up though. I don't know if you've sensed that or you know what I mean? It's
oh,
like suddenly you look
definitely.
at the clock and it's like four
Just
o'clock. Wow, you know, that went quick. Or
I find more kind of not kind of time as in hours and minutes, but kind of days. Like we're in March already.
yeah, exactly.
It's that kind of
Oh, it just
blink
feels so
and
nice though, doesn't it? With the
months
light in
gone.
the sky and
And
some sunny days.
yeah, so yeah, I think just kind of letting go of old habits that don't serve me. But of
Sounds
course
good. Yeah.
it's a habit, so it's gonna try and keep there. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? I'll be
Age-old
60.
question.
I'll be
Usually 5 years,
60.
isn't it? 3 years. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Well,
60, free prescriptions.
it's all age relative. So if we're not doing what we're doing right now in this very moment, talking about this type of stuff on our podcast, I'd be very surprised.
Hmm.
We'll be doing a similar thing, I envisage. Hopefully,
What does
keep.
what does success actually mean to you?
Good question. I think leaving behind something for my grandchildren, even though I've only got one now. I'm actually starting to think that way. I don't know. It's just that I really hope I'm going to be able to leave behind a body of work that,
Bit of a legacy.
yeah, my offspring have the privilege to witness.
Mm.
But then, it's actually, obviously, it's still the ongoing, still doing it now. I haven't given up. So a successful path will be knowing that, I've built up that work to leave behind. What about you?
Success. Well, I don't know. I suppose just I don't know. Just
Getting out of bed.
just yeah, yeah. Just being not having to use adult diapers. No, I suppose it's kind of like just to continue to enjoy my passions like music, being able to write and record stuff, being kind of the longevity of like that kind of being able to you know do the things as I get older, still do the things I enjoy, like physicalities of it, like riding a bike, playing a guitar, walking to coffee shops, all that kind of stuff.
Mm,
And I think it's that kind of like the success of it is like that kind of freedom you feel with it, or that passion and freedom you feel with it when you're kind of in the zone with it. When you're
yeah.
recording, you come away thinking that's a great bit of riffing I put on the chorus. That you're really pleased with, and you can't. It's really good because it's like an earworm. You can't stop playing it, and that's when it gets
Yeah, yeah.
exciting, and you think, well, even though the imposter syndrome, you think, oh, it's a fluke. I created that. It's that kind of that's a success of kind of your passion, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we said it on the last episode, did we? We were talking about the whole success thing, and being on radio would be good. I mean, that's something that people could ordinarily aim for and never really achieve that. It's nice to think that we kind of got on radio once, and then can we do it
Yeah,
again? It's
June,
that would feel like we've hit some sort of yeah.
June 2011, wasn't it? Demo of the
Was
week,
it? Oh my
June
God!
June
Wow.
2011. Yeah,
So to be fair,
that's like 15 years ago.
if we could still plod on till our 60s, 70s, I'd be really
But that is, I mean,
surprised.
that is,
It's
that is
weird to think
success,
about
isn't
that
it?
now.
Being able to carry on doing,
But a lot of people, yeah, of course, we see older people in pubs, performing.
and it's kind of like, you kind of think, I know some people that have really suffered bad with their health,
mm,
and it's kind of like, so if you do that comparison, then it's just a success that I can
exactly, yeah.
pick a
It's just the
guitar
fact that
up.
we're even able to do it,
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of,
compared to
I
someone who's
mean,
had to give up playing because they've ruined their arms. I don't know. It's sad, isn't it? I actually, even recently, I've seen a lot of I'd say kind of just really depressed looking guys who it just looks like, they're playing guitar in town or whatever. And sort of even today I saw a guy on a bench. He looked a little bit worn out, and kind of playing. He just looked really sad with his guitar, obviously getting on a bit. He had a sailor cap on, which looked like a sort of pilot's hat, captain's hat. And anyway, it was just that moment. I thought, yeah, I wonder if you had those days of, you think those days are over. That's it, you're thrown in the towel, but you're still kind of hanging in there. Yeah, watching the other kind of people perform because they want to do it and it's cool. Nothing stopped them from playing live or getting out there and doing a busk. Um,
Yeah.
Fair play. It's sort of, if only, I suppose more people might want to do that kind of thing and they don't have it. They'll just be like, oh, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do, whatever, karaoke or,
So that self-belief kind of,
yeah, put themselves off from something that they should just throw themselves into because why not? It's like, just try it.
I think success as well, it's kind of like, applies to everything, doesn't it? If, not being in a bad relationship, you know what I mean? Not being, not continually going off with stress at work, finding yourself in situations where, not being in a bad relationship, getting out of that, that's a success, you know.
Mm.
All those kind of
Well, not
things.
keep going back to the same cycles of the same bullshit. It does something to your soul, doesn't it? It starts repairing something that you kind of lose because you don't have any more bandwidth for it. And that's it, right? Just get older. You don't want to fight over the same stuff,
Yeah, I
whether
think
it's your boss or, yeah,
I think as you get older,
me.
you have less tolerance of bullshit, and less tolerance to kind of wear the mask to please people that you don't really want to please,
Yeah,
or be in situations you don't want to be in. Like, no one's bad there. It's just like maybe like a social situation you really don't want to be in. Whereas,
well, yeah,
the
the whole
the old you would go there and just put up with
mm,
it and come away with the resentment. Whereas now it's
people
so
pleasing, isn't it?
it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's just so it's now, that's a success. Just sort of looking after yourself and saying, no, I'm not going to go.
yeah,
All these little successes. You know,
yeah.
um,
Or going back to what we said earlier, you just know when you're going to burn out. You know when your time's up. You know when you can't just cannot face that thing anymore,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you've got to come clean. I think the more you realise that's the thing. It's so precious this life, but especially with all this war stuff going on and people not knowing where they're at. And even I've experienced it like in the family. I've got my cousin who's going through the stress of cabin crew being stuck out, being grounded, with all the planes and stuff, having to deal with all that stuff. And yeah, it's scary, isn't it? Scary times for a lot. And you can't sort of, I suppose, turn a blind eye to it because you empathize with all these people going through these situations. And then there's that other side, which you kind of flip and you just think too much of that stress can, knock you sideways. So you've got to you can only deal with your own tolerance level, right?
yeah. I think it's like limited exposure, isn't it? It's kind of like
Yeah.
uh, look after. When you've been exposed to enough of negative. When it starts feeling negative and
Yeah, what do they
um,
call it? Damage limitation.
yeah,
Mm.
um, yeah. That's
So
it.
what's next on the
That's
list?
all the questions.
Question wise.
That's all the questions.
That's all the questions.
Yeah, all done.
Way. Wow, that was a good
Yeah,
little recap.
got to the end of it and stuff.
Have you got any
Yeah.
personal questions you'd like to address?
Um,
What would you like to see in this next quarter of the year? And obviously we're still not booked in for any gigs or anything yet, and we're trying to get through each day and week and
yeah, I'm just kind of like I just want to record some songs,
mm.
um, now I've got the gear. That's the main thing. And then for live stuff, getting a bass player and a drummer is what we
How's
need.
your friend? Has
Yeah,
he
he seemed
listened to
really,
the songs or?
he seemed really interested. Now he's gone a bit quiet, so I'll give him a nudge at the weekend. I know he's a fireman or a firefighter, as they're called these days. So he does like shift
Right.
work and stuff. So
Sure, yeah.
um,
Um,
he'll be ideal.
yeah. Maybe get just a sort of thing
I,
arranged for when we're doing our set or something at
I sent him the links.
next gig. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to if he was still up for it, just organise a rehearsal for us.
Mm.
He's got the songs, and we'll just get in a room together and just see how we get on musically.
Yeah. I was going to try and meet Matt tomorrow and get the SD card off him. The amount of times I've been in Reading, it's like, I'm here. Can you meet me? It's like, no. And then he's going to post it, and then he's forgot to post it. So I was like, I'm in Reading again. Shall we meet? He's like, sure. Yeah, I've got a. He's been doing up his studio and stuff, and
All
hopefully
right.
I'll be getting him on the podcast because he's up for a little interview about
All right.
his journey through building his successful career around a rehearsal studio. So that'd be
Is
really
it
cool.
just him that owns that, or is he
Pretty
partners with
much,
anything?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, right,
He's
okay.
kind of collaborated with people in the past, but he'll tell us all about it when we interview him. So if you're up for that, it's in the next sort of few weeks.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
ask
let
him
me
about a
know.
date now. He's kind of because they were refurbing the studio and stuff. So, but yeah, and I've got to go and do those vocals for breaks. So that's coming up.
Did he find that in the end on there?
No,
Yeah, right, okay.
no. So have you got any other SD cards you can put information on then, or
Well, that's the SD card I've been using about three
that's the
years.
yeah. Is there
Um,
any other way you can just send them to him via GarageBand or what are you
no,
using again?
not really.
No, you can't bounce the WAVs and send them separate.
No, I mean I'll have a look once I get the SD card back. Um, they're definitely on there. I remember doing them because I remember doing it
It
because
just didn't read for some reason. I
it
think it's
takes
just the way
ages
it's
for
just not
them to.
compatible. What do you call it? File. It's just not
Uh,
it's just not picking up by his computer. So I don't know if there's some clash with the make or whatever, but just couldn't see any of them. I was there, we played everything. It just wouldn't play the file
mm,
because it didn't read it as a playable file.
mm,
No, it's frustrating. Um,
okay. All right. Well, when I get it back, I'll have a look at it.
so yeah, any other way we can get those to him, that'd be cool. But these are this is a classic example, isn't it, of how things get slowed down because we're not sort of instantly doing these things. We have to. There's just tricky little things we have to keep on avoiding or
Mm, mm,
implementing.
yeah.
But we get there
Yeah. Yeah.
slowly,
We'll do it.
slowly.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to go because I'm shattered. I might have an early night for a
Sure.
change.
Look after yourself and have
And
a
you.
great March, and we'll
So
see
two
you.
weeks. Two
Yeah,
weeks
see you in
Sunday. We'll
2 weeks then.
rehearse. Chuck your
Yeah.
song ideas at me, and I'll chuck some ideas at you. And then hope by the end of the weekend we can agree on five, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll just rehearse them separately and then do them on that Sunday. Yeah.
Okie dokie, yeah, sure thing. And thank
Sweet.
you for everybody who's been tuning in. If you're still here, we really do appreciate
Thank you
you.
very much.
And thanks again for all the support. And please do subscribe and like and share this channel. And hopefully see someone who's willing to also share their experiences on here as well. So anyone's welcome. Just do get in touch and let us know your thoughts and views. So once again, thank you for sitting through our recap. Take care. Have a great March and springtime. See you soon. Lots of
See
love.
you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.